Vamos a hacer la misión de historia, que necesito los materiales para poder seguir subiendo a Runway. Yo no puedo ponerle
I thought member 4, Pokecatamon,
eh,
had gotten rid of
los
most of the
rastros.
society members. I didn't have a lot of hope for this. Oh, look who's here.
You're back.
Hay mucha gente aquí hoy.
Of course, this is a summit between three geniuses.
Se me ve mejor. Compré un foco, lo tengo ahí arriba puesto. Y así parece que no da la... Ahí atrás.
It's a special time. All departments are preparing to welcome distinguished guests from the Genius Society. Madame Ron-May doesn't like fanfare and probably wouldn't appreciate a crowd.
Todavía tengo un poco de moco del catarro, pero bueno, estoy bien.
I took her to see the portraits of the society members a few days ago. I wanted to have the researchers make one for her as well, but she declined the offer. I don't get it. Whatever, as long as she's happy.
I heard Miss Ron-May likes snacks and pastries, so I asked the researchers to prepare some traditional desserts from the blue.
¿Poder conocer a Runway?
Of course! Go find
La
her
waifu.
yourself. She borrowed the phase flame to do some research as soon as she got here. Haven't seen a trace of her since.
Miss Ron-May is the very image of a scholar. I heard she once took a little vacation on a desert planet.
Parece que esto lo tiene en alta estima.
Created a boom in the local ecology.
She just wanted somewhere uninhabited to experiment with her life spiral system. Wrong anyway. What more needs to be said for someone smart enough to become Herda's research partner, Hurry up and head out.
Ok. ¿Dónde está?
I'm not sure, but she doesn't seem to get around much.
La zona nueva de la
She spends
estación de
most of her
Herta, ¿no?
time between the master control zone and the railway platform. Maybe you...
Sí, esto es parte de la principal. Será esto y luego ya Colonipenal cuando cambie el parche, ¿no? Y será el 2.0. Ya me conoces, invitó al grupo a definitiva en toda la cara. Habla, parece que tenemos noticias interesantes. Rich, sábelo todo. Este es Doctor Ratio, ¿no? Vaya charla, compañero. No pasa nada. Personalidad tiene, una gran personalidad. Ok. Cuando brillan las estrellas del ingenio. Me habéis dicho que es la primera parte, que con la primera parte ya puedo hacer lo de los rastros, ¿no? Veré cómo son de largas ambas partes y si eso os las meto en el mismo vídeo.
There's someone next to the railway platform. Could she be?
Sí.
I have a feeling we're on the right track.
I'll check the data when I get back.
Vaya. Tiene comida.
Hello. I hope I didn't startle you.
La waifu.
This is a work habit of mine. Using touch to open my senses and letting the details of your biological existence flood into my brain helps me understand your construction as a living organism. Such is the basis of deconstruction and reconstruction. Do not be concerned. You are very healthy. In fact, impeccably so. A perfect experimental specimen.
No me gusta que me traten como un experimento. Tienes un poco de pastel en la comisura de la boca. ¿Tanto les cuesta poner aquí 1, 2, rollo, para ir seleccionando?
Oh, really? I expect the views here had me lost in thought.
Tiene voz diferente, o sea, el tono de la voz es diferente que cuando la usas en combate.
I don't usually go in and out of the space station, and only discovered today that it was blessed with such calm, open views. It is a wonderful fit for the sweet fragrance of lotus leaves, plum blossoms, sticky rice, and frosting sugar.
También estoy subiendo a Yepar y a Marzo para intentar pasarme el modo de juego nuevo, que con el Pacto del Hielo parece que es fácil. Es que estoy un
Come
poco
here.
atascado.
Look, the blue planet is directly below us. It is so full of
Por eso
life.
quiero los rastros para
This
Ruanmei.
dessert is very delicious. Here, take half.
Probaré un poquito.
Delicious desserts remind people of how flowers look when they bloom. Ingest this dessert one bite at a time, and the sweetness will linger in your mouth. I hope you like it too.
Me gustas tú. Te comes el pastel de Ruanmei.
So, what do you think? I can certainly prepare more
Espero que
for
no me
you.
esté envenenando.
It's become somewhat of a tradition to bring strawberry pastries when I visit
Tengo un
Stephen Lloyd.
pegote en la pantalla,
His
ahora lo veo.
attendance seems
Está justo en la
quite
cara de
dependent
Ruanmei.
on them.
Estoy limpiando.
An outstanding dessert. 10 grams of cubed sugar, one
Bueno, lo
dry
está haciendo la receta.
salt-preserved plum blossom. Baking and cooking are the same as nurturing a universe. The heat must be controlled, planning must be meticulous, and one must not panic.
Buenas
No
patas,
matter what happens. Unfortunately, there are still too many people in the space station. The clamor is not fitting for desserts. By the way, do you remember what my research is about?
No, la verdad. Algo de biología.
No. My
Habla.
research area is short stories about toilets. Huh? What's going on?
¿Se ha dado cuenta de que sabe hablar?
I see. What a cute hobby. But remember, the next time something like this happens, it's crucial to mask your expression until you've ascertained the situation. If not,
If
you'll be
not,
full
what?
of weaknesses that others can see through.
Ok.
Let's try
¿Qué
again.
tiene que ver eso conmigo?
Now, what else would you like to
¿Por qué
add?
decimos otras cosas de las que pensamos? ¿Qué me hiciste?
The dessert was tasty. I would like more.
¿Veis?
Why can't I say what I want to say?
Muy raro que nuestro personaje pueda hablar.
You have quite the appetite. All right, I'll give you the recipe. Come and have a walk with me. A stroll is the most appropriate post-dessert activity. As the masses depart, there's an enveloping calm here.
Hola de
Just
pélago.
like in the no man's land I've entered to in the past.
Dame la mano.
Can you
Dame la
imagine a
mano.
completely lifeless world?
Me interpongo. Mira, aquí. Si me pongo aquí,
From there,
no tengo que
you
tocar
can
el ratón.
glimpse the
Ala,
stars that lie at the very edge of the
me
horizon.
escapa. Más.
Following its celestial trajectory, the Great Teal Star illuminates an endless
No,
sea
no
of
te gires.
light across both the sky and land. My mother and I navigated calm glaciers, looking for signs of life on that world, and encountered many bizarre phenomena.
Con los tíos la adelanto, con las tías no. Tienen diferente altar. Mira, con esta voy igualado. De hecho, me voy hasta atrás. Pero con el tío tienen un diferente caminar, en plan, más largo el paso de los tíos.
Please, don't be on edge. I bear no ill will. I haven't interfered with your linguistic faculties.
No me
Such
ajustes.
an act would be
No
impolite.
soy un USB.
I merely made a minor adjustment. A few days ago, I made my interest in you known to Herta. My intention is for you to serve as an assistant. Based on our interactions within the simulated universe, I firmly believe you fit the bill. I find extending trust beyond myself is challenging. A single error in detailed research can generate issues, and I despise matters that escape my control. Therefore, I added anti-truth serum to this dessert.
Es
It will not harm you.
tirabocas.
However, you will be unable to say what you truly think when answering questions
Es que es
related to
asocial,
me.
¿no?
Treat it as a layer of protection. This will shield my research and your personal safety. Once the problems have been dealt with, I'll give you the antidote. I can also reward you as compensation for being my assistant. I will fulfill your every wish.
Ok, seguro. No vamos a poder decírselo, o sea que...
Does that bother you? I believe we will be able to be frank with each other, but that needs time. When I first arrived on the space station, I borrowed the phase flame from Herta. It's an invention of member number 29 Circle. I hope to be enlightened by other society members' results. A surge of creativity led me to explore the cultivation of life on the space station. In my imagination,
Voy a moverme
these
la
life
cámara un
forms will
pelín
be a
más
new
aquí.
variety that are born as geniuses. I plan to name them after
Ahí estoy muy
Lambda,
lejos.
member
Ahí.
number 8 of the Genius
Para no
Society.
tapar todo.
I don't know where it went wrong. They possess their own sentience, but are nowhere near geniuses. Moreover, my free-range approach
Y
seems
si
to
no,
have
cuando sea el combate os
backfired.
tapo también.
In a lab leak incident a few days ago, some of these little life forms ran away and scattered all over the space station. I do not wish for Herta or Asta to be involved in this. Therefore, I'm hoping you can assist in recovering these little life forms.
Vale.
The researchers are still
Muchas
treating
veces
these
se me olvida
entities as
que la
visitors.
estación espacial de
I
Herta
want to
es
steer
un sitio
clear of
y no es
making their
el tren.
presence known,
O sea, me
so
da la
as
sensación
not
de
to
que siempre
cause
estamos
undue
aquí,
disturbances.
aquí aparcados con el tren.
I entrust this to you. Once the little life forms are collected, simply find a proper place for them. The researchers in the Department of Ecology should know about this and provide you with suitable advice.
Pues mirad, es que a esta, ahora la zona de mando principal, esta la tenía asegurada. Pero... Mira el historial. A ver, la hoja 2. Aquí. 6 del 12. Aquí a quien había tirado. Me salió un Yankin intentando ir a por la... ¿Quién salió antes? Me salió Yankin. ¿Y a quién estaba intentando tirar? Y aquí era... Argenti, ¿verdad? Bueno, aquí era Argenti. El caso. Me acabo antes haciendo eso, ¿no? Que me salió, vamos, mira, 6 del 12. Y aquí es cuando salió Ruanmei. Creo que tiré el segundo día. Me salió literalmente en la primera tirada. Yo tengo una multi entera. Así que estamos en Pity 9. Lo bueno es que eso me ha dejado ahorrar un poco porque iba muy mal de Hades. Vamos.
Are there other matters?
Consigue información de los investigadores. Basta. Una trabajando, todos mirando.
A place where the space station stores dangerous experimental results?
Wow, bonito fondo, ¿no? Pantalla.
Why would anyone want to know that? Wait.
Jaja, ¿para qué
Did
quieres
someone
saber
send
eso?
you here to try to get things out of me? I'm not doing any private business on the space station. I have absolutely no knowledge of any special hiding places. And I certainly haven't sold any old junk rare treasures or discarded curios or anything like that.
Ruanmei me pidió que lo hiciera.
You're so cute.
Sabía que iba a
Can I
pasar
get
eso.
an autograph? So, I really can't say anything.
Ah, o sea, que otras cosas sí podemos.
Autograph? What are you on about? You're freaking me out. I won't talk to you if you don't tell me why you're here.
Dicen que en la estación no hay problemas.
Oh, that. You've got pretty good contacts if you know that already. The space station is a mess. Everyone's already swamped as it is. And now out of nowhere, there's a bunch of little creatures popping up.
Ay.
If you want to
Criaturas.
solve the problem, go check out the storage zone.
De acuerdo. Me encanta lo de tepearte. Y tener que buscar el tepe más cercano. le dejamos ahí tranquilamente. Está este señor aquí malvado y aquí la people
There's
tranquilamente
so many
trabajando.
people. This seems to be the place.
Opcional intenta crear vida. Averiguar información sobre Ranmei. Vale, que hablemos con todos.
Some of us.
No, So,
As ex-
Voy a hablar con todos. No me voy a tragar lo que digan, ¿eh?
I don't know about her. So,
Did I ask about you?
Puedo hablarle... Ah, vale. Es una vez por persona. Ah, que tenía que hablar con
Molten
eso.
cheese tart is the best. It's what's our slogan again? 1. Stop complaining. Change your attitude. and
Igual a ellos
use
les
the
pasa lo
delicious
mismo.
molten cheese tart to stop the flow of negative energy. 2. Energize yourself.
¡Empodérate!
Increase your capacity for action and walk on the path of molten cheese tart's absolute conviction.
Our creed, molten cheese.
Yo creo que es eso, que les pasa lo mismo. No pueden decir eso. Dicen tarta de queso.
Oh, praise be.
Tarta de fresa.
Molten
Tarta de
cheese tart is Madame
fresa.
Ron May's top fan. This is how it preaches. Those who offer their love are expressing admiration and affection for Miss Ron May.
Que los seguidores de
Oh,
Torrillun.
let me tell you something. Mr. Screwthum's followers are all very logical, but they're just awaiting the arrival of the mechanical aristocracy.
Ujú.
Since you're so interested, I'll tell you how to secure an audience with the Honorable Molten Cheese Tart. You'll need to work hard to get there. You need to plaster hearts wherever Madame Ron May has been.
Como un stalker.
If you're sincere enough, the Honorable Molten Cheese Tart will show itself.
Investigar.
Hey, guess what I got my hands on? Word on the street, it says 10 carats of ingenuity, 1. Let's give it a shot, shall we? We need to... Yikes.
Hemos creado vida. Graffiti donde evita gravitas en la zona determinada dependiendo de los diferentes requisitos. Clic aquí para cambiar entre diferentes tipos de grafitis. Vale, esto es como lo de Silverwolf, ¿no? Vale. Corazón aquí nos habían dicho, ¿no? ¿Así vale? Contigo no puedo hablar. ¿Vosotros me podéis decir algo de Ron May?
What? Yes, she's the end result.
Vale, sí. Realiza un misterioso ritual de invocación. Tengo que poner más. Todos los que pueda. Ahora azules. Vaya, no me ha dejado. No estoy entendiendo muy bien lo que está ocurriendo, ¿eh? Una creación de Romeo aparece sobre la mesa. ¿Pero por qué?
So this is the little life form Ronmei made?
Un investigador aparece de la nada junto a ti.
I am humbled to meet the molten cheese tart.
No parece una tarta de queso,
What
pero
are you
bueno.
frozen in place for? Oh, you don't understand the honorable tart. That's okay. No worries for situations like this. We've specifically concocted a synesthesia beacon.
Ok. Lleva la magnesia sinestética.
Wakaka! I'm a genius. A genius among geniuses.
That was way too risky.
Oh, molten cheese tart says Madame Ronmei has finally recognized my ingenuity. Molten cheese tart says, does Madame Ronmei recognize me as a masterpiece?
¿Qué coño sé yo?
Molten Cheese Tart says Madame Ronmay still has not recognized me as a life form that passes the requirements. I need to work harder. Oh, such an enthusiastic Molten Cheese Tart. There's a kind of attachment reserved for the creator. To the world, you are but one person. But to me, you are the entire world.
Oh.
Madame Ronmay. Hey, you! Yes, you! Don't you have anything you want to say to Molten Cheese Tart? You should at least express how you would like to follow Molten Cheese Tart.
Digo tarta de queso. Hala, venga.
You see,
Que se nos está haciendo perder el tiempo. Una tontería lo que dice. Si no os dejaba todo esto, pero no creo que os interese gente hablando de tartas. ¿Cómo hizo Ronmay para convertir postres en formas de vida? Nada, no nos dice nada. Ah, pues me voy. Hala, intentas hablar con la creación de Ronmay y llevártela. Es que dejan demasiado tiempo estos mensajes, ¿eh? Tendrían que dar la opción de hacer clic y que se quite. Y cada uno usa el tiempo que necesita. Puedes poner a esos monstruitos aquí. Creo que me estás mintiendo. Lo digo muy en serio. Este es un paso unidireccional, el otro extremo está conectado a la zona de almacenamiento, es bastante seguro. Ok.
You won't get away.
¡Hala!
This sword needs sharpening.
Había otro aquí. Y... ¿Te das cuenta de que la creación de Ronmay no encaja? ¿Veis? A esto me refiero. Estamos aquí. Se ve distinto ahora, ¿no? Se ve como nublado. La criatura abre sus inocentes ojos, de par en par. Ahora tienes que explicarle que debes hacerlo para enviarla de vuelta a Ronmay. ¿Te gustan las casas desde lo fundido? Creo que sí, ¿no? Creo que es un sabor que puede dar felicidad. Parece resentida por ser una forma de vida no cualificada. Parece ansiosa de lograr grandes cosas. Quiere adoptar plenamente su propia filosofía y te invita a que te unas. Activar con cuidado el transportador. La criatura de Ronmay es arrojada sin piedad por el inodoro. Será transportada de forma segura a la zona de almacenamiento. Vale, lo que nos habían dicho. Y este es el inodoro que teletransporta, ¿no? El de las misiones diarias, a la vez. ¿Algún avance? Perdón por interrumpirte. Vuelve primero. Hay un asunto urgente que requiere tu ayuda. Ok. ¿Quién te ha dado mi número? Lo siento, pero es que voy siempre con Blade a todos los lados. Mi niño.
You're here. Herta called Screwlam and I to the space station to discuss some important topics. She also sent an invite to Steven, but he didn't reply, and Herta didn't seem to want to wait any longer. And now, I wish for you to attend this meeting with me.
Ok.
I don't want Herta to worry herself over these frivolous matters, even though she probably wouldn't care anyway. Just in case, I want someone who will be on my side. In other words, you.
Claro, porque no puedo decir nada malo de ti.
Help me. It'll be easy. Just remember, my secret stays with you. Don't pry too much and keep your expressions in check.
Está bien.
All right, let's go.
¿Esta es parte de la zona nueva? Estamos como en una... No es la zona nueva. Estamos como en una mazmorra, ¿no? En una instancia, mejor dicho.
Hi, Ronmay. I've been waiting for you. Oh, you're here too? Looks like you two have become quite friendly.
¿Por qué estás tan friendly tú misma, Herta?
It's good to see you, sir. Affirmation. This reunion has happened earlier than my calculations predicted.
Me gusta Tornillo, me gusta su aspecto, pero la voz es muy poco robótica, ¿verdad?
Though you weren't invited, I welcome you to remember this historical moment. How long has it been since 3 geniuses were in the same room together? And how long will we have to wait for it to happen again?
Dame.
Affirmative. Discounting our discussions
Esta
on the
sigue siendo la
simulated
muñeca, se le
universe,
ven
our interactions are
las
scarce.
articulaciones aquí.
I look forward to the innovative ideas that may emerge from this juxtaposition of minds.
Hacer una cortés reverencia. Ha dicho que controlemos nuestras expresiones. Pero vamos, que da igual lo que
Let me
elijamos.
get
Como siempre en
straight to
estos
the
juegos,
point. I
tiras
think
para
it's
adelante y
time to
punto.
find another partner for the simulated universe.
¿Ratio? Se refiere a
You
Romney.
wish to kick Steven out?
No, of course not. Steven doesn't want to get involved and voted to abstain. Whatever. Look, I respect the way people want to live,
Whatever.
but he doesn't have the chance to be involved in this decision-making anymore.
Question. Are we introducing a fifth partner
Sí, están hablando
for
de
the
Ratio, ¿no?
simulated universe?
Yes, a 5th genius. The reason for our gathering is clear to everyone present. What else could prompt such a gathering of brilliant minds except for the answer? No one can refuse the secret.
Argentina está casi buldeado del todo, sí. Se puede usar.
Definitely get a response.
What if the responder is Polka Kakamond?
La que le falta un poco es a Hania. Y la única parte mala de haber sacado a Romney en la primera tirada es que no he sacado a Chuejin.
That'd be great. Hey, Lord of Silence, are you listening? I'm member number 83. Heard of?
Pero me voy a guardar
I
los esos porque quiero ver si Black Swan está fuerte para el equipo de Dot. Que Romney también va a que te cagas en el equipo de Dot.
It's unlikely we'll hear from Polka Kakamond. She's been off
Pero
the
a ver
grid for
si
quite some
Black
time.
Swan puede cambiar a... Es que me sale Sabo. No Sabo. ¿Cómo se llama?
Probability, member number 64,
El de viento de Dot.
Dr. Primitive may appear.
El que es un granuja. Me he olvidado el nombre. Me sale Sabo.
That's a hard pass. Given Dr. Primitive's shady research practices and his tussle with the Galaxy Rangers, the IPC will surely turn this into a media circus. He can get lost. I'd prefer it if the simulated universe remained
Están
scandal-free.
decidiendo qué genio elegir.
What about you, Ching-Tu? Are you still in touch with her, Ronmei? Is she still alive?
Can we ask him to leave if we are to discuss this topic? The process will be long and boring. There's no need to take up other people's time.
Of course. You brought him in after all. It's up to you.
Está demasiado simpática, Gertrude.
All right. Let me walk you out.
And what the heck is this?
Seems like a programming error.
Oh,
La
this
carta de Romney
fragment of
solo me ha
Ronmei.
tocado una vez en el
Have
universo
you seen
simulado.
it in the simulated universe before?
El que te da todas las bendiciones de ese. Sí, lo he visto una vez.
The simulated universe is my home. I'm speaking nonsense again.
It's probably an isolated glitch.
Creo que no.
Fine. I'm used to turning a blind eye to these
Pero ahora
things.
entiendo lo del
Makes
postre
life
que está
easier.
comiéndose en la carta.
I am curious, though. Are you gonna keep it, Ronmei?
I probably will. Records indicate he likes this occurrence.
All right, I agree. As long as it helps you with your research, you can do whatever you want.
Come along. I'll see you out.
Tampoco, no sabo. Te digo que igual puede que Black Swan lo reemplace. Ah, llévame.
It appears I was overthinking things. Impulsive behavior is pretty characteristic
Se
of
mueve
her, after all.
para que no me lleve, para no llevarme.
Thankfully, it was just a minor scare. Still, meetings give me such a headache. It seems I'll have to stay put for a while. I see that you've recovered the life form in the master control zone. Thank you. Well done. I was simply being overly cautious. It is a
Me gusta
habit
porque
of
lleva como
mine.
una túnica así como de
Apologies.
científica, pero realmente es un traje de baño, iba a decir, de fiesta. Vestido.
There's some things that I must tell you now. If I wait for the meeting to finish, then it might be too late. The retrieval of my life forms isn't complete yet. There's more than just one, and
¿A qué tengo que ir?
some are stored in a sealed zone. Herta uses that place to welcome visitors from across the stars. or to welcome members of the Genius Society. However, due to the Legion's invasion,
No, y
it
no
is no
vamos a
longer
echarlos
open to
nunca,
the
los dejamos ya
public.
vivir aquí.
And now my headache is stored there.
¿Hay otras
There's
zonas?
much you don't know about the space
Ya me
station,
imaginaba.
and even more about Herta. But there is some information I can give you. That place is also used to welcome non-humanoid visitors, and has a shuttle that connects to outer space.
The Blob.
I'm giving you my access card.
Dame
Give
tu
me your
mano.
hand, and I'll input
Toma
your
mi
fingerprint
mano.
into it.
Cantemos todos juntos este verano.
Stay vigilant, Assistant. Should you come across a threat you can't handle, just alert me. I'll come to your aid no matter what. Remember, there is a giant incubator in the middle of the zone. That's where my headache is stored.
Ok, so que nos dirigimos
Once
ahí.
you're back, come find me on the railway platform. Then you'll understand everything.
Tiene un laboratorio de cum. Pim pam.
Sound lingers.
Let's wait and see.
Vamos.
What would a sealed zone look like?
Me encantan las cinemáticas. Está todo apagado. Esto me recuerda un poco a Prey, un poco a Dead Space. Este robot no está muy bien, ¿eh? Parece No. Si es un juego de miedo, me voy, ¿eh? Se acaba el vídeo. Me gusta. Ahí, enciéndame la luz. Uy. Estoy mirando a ver si hay algún cofre por ser una zona nueva. Pero de 11, sí hay. El bicho lo hemos visto como hacia aquí, ¿no? Pero está en el otro lado. Es por la cinemática. Nos ha dejado mirando al lado que no es. Metal, crédito. Parece que aquí salen objetos normales. Robot pequeñito. Robot freidora.
What's up with this unit? It looks different from the one in the master control zone.
Buzz Lightyear.
Buzz, Madam Herta, open zone. Buzz, to welcome alien species, galactic visitors, high risk zone. Buzz.
Tengo que hacer todavía las misiones de personaje. A la de Argentina no la tengo hecha. No sé lo que pasa.
Permission status. Madam Ron May. Permissions granted. Madam Herta. Fine. As long as it keeps her happy. Buzz.
¿Qué haces aquí?
Buzz, I am a twin of the rice frying robot. I am the leftover rice frying robot.
Ah, qué bien.
But maintain zone operation. Job of inorganic life forms. Welcome, Buzz. Visitor, how can I?
Mapa.
Basement 1, transit hub. Buzz. Basement 2, shuttle. Incubator.
Vale, al 2
dangerous
tenemos que ir.
curio storage. Buzz. Corridor. Danger. Buzz. Welcome. Visitor.
¿Dónde puedo encontrar la...? Bueno, quiero ver los registros.
Madam Ron May. Buzz. Alien. Species. Buzz. That is all.
Vale, son lo que hay aquí. Especies alienígenas y Ruamei.
Fry leftover.
A ver...
fry leftover.
Ah, vale, ya no me deja. Preguntarle por lo otro. Ok. Nos está contando a nosotros como... No, claro, a nosotros nos está contando como Ruamei. Va a decir, igual nos está contando como especie alienígena. Al fin y al cabo, somos un cacho de Estelarón y algo de Kafka, ¿no? Y los memes de Mami Kafka al final no iban desencaminados. Esto no debería pasar. O sea, no deberías... Aunque el ascensor baje el planeta, deberías seguirlo viendo igual a la misma altura. Cofre. Rumorea que hay secretos inconfesables ocultos en la zona inferior y que se han visto avistados. Más te das cuenta de que esta estación no es tan normal, vale. Eso será la incubadora, ¿no? Si dice que vayamos por ahí, voy a ir por el otro lado a ver qué hay. Parece que solo había esto. Esta zona está cerrada. Cerrado por el momento. Sí, se ve en el minimapa. Pues sí, estoy bastante contento con la luz, ¿eh? Se ve perfecto. Tengo que probar en otros juegos que es cuando está el fondo verde o son colores muy brillantes. Ahí sí que me ve a mí raro. Pero al tener más luz la cámara tiene más precisión. Me veis todas las arrugas. Investigar esto. Cápsula sellada se usa para diversos experimentos, pero... Vale.
The kindling for the phase flame is fascinating. Unfortunately, before the research could be completed, it vanished. I've initiated new attempts. The growth status of the two samples this time is promising. I incorporated personal taste preferences into the concept, but I'm uncertain about the outcome of such an action. They simultaneously possess two sets of emotional traits. They are at once cute, weak, sentimental, and sensitive, yet are also fierce, instigating, demanding, and confident. Interestingly, they also possess a kind
Está lavando el gato.
inclination, a yearning for their creator. It manifests as a natural, inherent emotion, similar to that of a baby towards its mother. Life towards sustenance, or the peculiar bond between humans.
Huh? What's that sound out there?
Ancla espacial activada. Ahí tenemos otro cofre. Perfecto. Estará aquí el otro... Ah, no. Estación de Ron y este que es un flan.
This is the headache
No.
Ronmei mentioned?
No creo.
It's just a different flavor.
Me gusta. ¿Está escondida en el postre? ¿O es el postre? Afirma estar conectada con su caparazón. Parece profundamente afligida y llora profusamente. Llevar la baliza.
I'm not one of Ronmei's recognized works.
Ah, claro, que es nuestra voz. Nuestra voz es horrible, ¿eh?
Too much negative energy. Don't like negative energy.
Es un genio a tu manera. Parece creer que sus contagiosas emociones también son bastante geniales.
Why am I
A failure. Es la creación de Ruamei que parece esperar con tristeza que Ruamei llegue por ella. Una pizca de compasión llega a tu corazón. ¿Qué te iba a decir? Hacen explosiones o pasos muy grandes.
Follow me. It'll be okay. I need to find a place for this little one. That sound seems to be from that locked room. How do I get in?
Eso, tú entra en las salas donde suenan las explosiones. Te puede salir mal. Viene con nosotros técnicamente, ¿no? Es lo de na. ¡Hija de puta! No me dio tiempo a darle porque iba a intentar cambiar a Luocha.
Nothing major.
División. Vale, son como los monstruos del este simulado.
Never conceals its desire to control the heavens, and I'm no exception.
Too little. Your end approaches. Fail to send you.
Pocas debilidades. Igual hay que cambiar. ¿Nos va a dejar cambiar aquí, en esta zona de personaje?
This sword needs
Sí parece,
sharpening.
¿verdad? Vale, porque igual hay que meter a Argenti contra estos bichos que se multiplican. Voy a dejar a este puesto.
Let's wait.
Y aquí nos va a salir otro, ¿no?
Repay.
Eternal. There's more to life. All will be swept away by the
V
wind.
y pone el combate automático, por si alguien lo quiere saber. Ha sido el mayor descubrimiento que he hecho esta semana.
The fight is set.
The dead return!
You won't get away.
Let's go. Parece que tienen debilidades muy parecidas.
Nothing more.
Existence is unity.
Savor it for me.
¿Veis? Aquí hubiera sido mejor hacer la potenciación y luego hacer el ulti. Pero bueno. Es por hacer el combate rápido, si no.
Humanity never conceals its desire to control the heavens, and I'm no exception.
Your end approaches. Too little.
All will be swept away by the wind.
En Ranmei la cadena de recarga de energías. Que luego pegará más cuando tenga los rastros. Los rastros le dan mucho. Lo de romper. Lo de romper le da ruptura, pero claro, hasta que no los desbloquee haciendo esto no puedo subirlo.
Eternal. Enjoying yourself?
Así que solo la tengo subida hasta el punto de lo que te deja sin usar ese material.
Receive divinity. The dead return!
Y nada, ando subiendo a Gepard, pero la verdad es que me da pereza usar. Me da pereza la levear a Marco, si es que no la voy a usar, solo para el evento, para el modo de juego nuevo. Gepard me da igual porque ese sí que lo voy a usar y tengo su cono.
I never imagined there'd be so many of them.
Vale, yo estoy buscando cofres.
You are here too? Seems like this is the other end of that one-way path.
The final days that member number 23 Echa spent in the mechanical
Archa es el
city
número 23.
showed me that even the longest of lives, such as hers, have a limit. I'm now certain that the outcome of this cultivation is failure. Life can exist in thousands of different forms, which means the form itself has no purpose. These life forms are very advanced in their own concepts, and can even trigger chain reactions such as synesthesia, but that is not what I desire. I'm starting to feel lost. Perhaps the question, what is the essence of life, never had an answer.
Thunder el primero.
One, Sandar, have you ever felt this loss?
Ya está llorando, ¿no? Por allá. ¿Cómo abro estas puertas? Cerra por el momento. Vale, no cerra por el momento.
Are you telling me to keep going?
Sí es.
Life is countless and varied in form. I firmly believe in that. Its beauty is like a myriad of flowers, and I want to pluck the one that never wilts. The patterns of all things always have complicated and enchanting exteriors, while their inner essences remain simple and plain. If we were to trace things back to their roots, just one equation would be enough to solve the confusion of all life. Ever since I was a child, I have always delighted in observing aspects of microscopic creatures, such as the speed with which slime molds devour objects. I have also gazed far and wide across the macroscopic world, investigating the progress of the universe up to this day. It was all very simple. I wish to discover the true essence of life, something that all individuals possess
Pues luego ya te puede echar una mano con eso, ¿no?
materialism of their existence, or an unknown entity beyond corporeal realms.
¿No es un elegido de león de la propagación?
Blind faith in science, I cautiously raised
O de la
a query.
abundancia, como se llame, es la abundancia, ¿verdad?
Would Ram May be able to peel away external influences? Just like pinpointing a coordinate, would she be able to uncover life's most primordial and beautiful form of existence? I thought of one life form that would truly lie beyond my reach, and that is...
Coño, qué susto me has dado.
Savor it for me.
Este lo voy a hacer yo. Ah, que no se ha quitado el no tenías que haber hecho eso.
A blade knows no mercy. The fight is set.
Es que me ha asustado. De verdad que me asusta. Oh, puta. Me han puesto esto aquí para que mire para este lado. Con esto podremos ir abriendo las puertas de antes, ¿no? Stevie Wonder. Había aquí un ancla. Eso es. Curamos y volvemos.
Sound lingers.
Y aquí hay un combate fuerte, ¿verdad? ¿Y por qué antes no he podido hacerlo? Voy a ver. Eso me refiero yo. A ver si podemos. Venga, va.
Eternal. Every petal and all will be swept away by the wind.
Perhaps humanity never conceals its desire to control the heavens, and I'm no exception.
Dura.
Grace and elegance.
Daño. Y ahora tú a seguir generando puntos.
I will dispatch you. Your end approaches.
Vale.
I'll see you off.
Aumentará su daño, ¿no? Con eso.
Some value, I suppose.
Ahí cae uno. Dos. Vale, bien. ¿Habrá segundo combate? Eso te iba a decir. Habrá segundo combate. Porque había dos bichos custodiándolo. ¿Puedes atacar a todos? No, a todos. ¿Puedo fijarme en los colores? ¿O todos se pueden duplicar?
A blade knows no mercy.
You chose the wrong enemy.
Esto le va a quitar los bufos. Tengo que ponerme una... Probablemente tenga que ponerme... Es que no sé si llevo de recarga de energía con Luocha, la verdad. A ver si empiezan a explotar. Podemos hacer más reacciones en cadena. Sí, ya está. Perfecto. Me lo llevo. La máscara esta te la puedes quedar. Como siempre llevo a Blade, se me hace muy extraño las frases que dice esta gente abriendo cofres. Siempre hago todo con Blade. O con Kafka. Hola, Roboto. Otro váter teletransportador, quizás. Muy bien se conservan estas algas, ¿no? Para haber estado esto apagado hasta hace nada. La duración de la exposición de la luz del sol es un factor crucial porque afecta al estado de ánimo. Colocar la pasta de cenicienta.
Stay here for a bit. Did something just open?
Sí, Stevie Wonder. Cuidado, no me ataquen. Por tener esto aquí. Y me van a pegar otro susto. Por aquí está. Y hacia aquí arriba. Vale, perfecto. Esto es a lo que me refería. Ir abriendo. Ah, no se puede utilizar desde este lado.
Hidden room. Buzz. Only Madame Ron May has permissions. Please submit your ID.
Es la de Romy la que tengo.
Permissions granted. Buzz. Select from the below services. 1. Check history.
El registro.
Is this?
I thought of one life form that would truly lie beyond my reach.
A ver. Ahora, ya tenemos fondo para YouTube.
And that is an emanator.
Emanator. Por eso me quiere a mí.
I cannot comprehend what an emanator is. Scholars view
Bueno, yo no sé si soy un emanador. Luocha es un emanador, ¿no? Y Jing Yuan también.
Where did it begin? And at what point did they become
Tutores del
closer to
poder de
being
los
lost than any other life form?
Exacto. Esos dos sí lo son. Yo no lo sé. En teoría el viajero es otro eón.
At first, I tried to create a genius. I failed. That question has no solution yet, and a long journey of discovery still lies ahead. However, erudition isn't the only path in the universe. If we set logic aside, would there be more primitive and pure emanators on other paths? Of course there would be. Daisy Ronda.
Sí.
I was able to see the
El que está
beginning and end of
la
the form
propagación.
disaster through the simulated universe. Obtain data on the Imperator and
Te vas a
Sectorum
meter
and
en un sitio que no...
replicate them, nurture them, and create a brand new scientific discipline.
Típico de los científicos,
It is
¿no?
a logical decision. I will certainly succeed. The entity that I reconstruct will bloom into a life never
Será un
before
escarabajo
seen.
gigante como el que hay en el salón, ¿verdad? En lo que es el abismo de este juego. No me acuerdo cómo se llama.
Most likely not. Therefore, before they realize what I am doing, I must hurry my work.
Eres guapa, ¿eh?
As well as
Guapa
find
rabiar.
a fitting assistant.
Lo siento, Jimeco, pero vamos a tener novia nueva.
Permission granted. Buzz. Select from the below
Incubadora. Ah, registro de visitantes.
Madam aliens, man with plaster head.
Cabeza de yeso.
Seems like
Permission granted.
Y una criatura alienígena.
that sound's coming from above.
Vale. Por arriba, pero ¿puedo entrar aquí? Eso. Perfecto. Abre la por, que parece que va a yogur. Ding-dong. ¿Hay alguien in the house? Saca. Un corazón.
Eternal. All will be swept away by the wind.
Barely felt it.
Your end approaches.
Tengo que fijarme en lo del watch, a ver si lo tengo. A ver si le tengo puesta la... Es el que va más lento siempre con la ulti. Me estoy dando cuenta ahora de eso, la verdad. Parece que cuando empiezan las reacciones en cadena es bastante fácil que acabes con todo. A ver, Lu8. Mira, ojo del rayo, eso no sé si lo tenemos de antes. El cono de Lu8 lo tenía el 70, me di cuenta de ayer o antes de ayer, ya lo subí. Esto de momento lo he dejado así porque de momento no... De momento nos apañamos así, pero bueno. Acabaré poniendo todos los de ataque ya que este subía con ataque. Ahí va. Yo no tengo lucha acabado. Claro, le tengo efecto de ruptura, así no sube el cabrón. No tengo lucha acabado, no me matéis. ¿Qué llevamos? Operación realizada. Acción básica, sí. Vale. Tengo que seguir subiendo al watch. Ahora mismo estoy sin artefactos de subir a tantos personajes. Tengo que limpiar artefactos de los dorados. Pero sí, tiene sentido que el watch tarde tanto en cargar. No sé, lo empecé a armar y que curaba y me debe olvidar de él. En plan, mira, así funciona así. O sea, hay que ponerle cosas. Además, los que tiene no están ni subidos. Vale. Pues ya sé qué hacer después de esto. Con los 800 que tengo ahí acumulados, habrá que ir a farmear un poco. ¿Este es nuevo? ¿El morado ese?
Humanity never conceals its desire to control the heavens, and I'm no exception.
All will be swept away by the wind.
Vale, pues ya me ha dado algo que mejorar, el Lu8. Perfecto.
Let's wait and see.
Sound lingers.
Vale, le hemos dado nosotros antes. No estaba muy seguro, ¿eh?
Eternal.
Patokiski antes que yo. Estos bichos son rápidos. Este es el orden correcto.
Receive divinity. The dead return.
You won't get away.
El que podía también subir, pero ya más adelante, es que se me están acumulando. Pasan semanas que estoy farmeando tonterías, porque digo, no tengo a nadie que subir, y luego resulta que los tengo a todos sin subir. Es impresionante. Y cuando estoy subiendo a uno, me doy cuenta que tengo que subir a 4 más. A ver, que ya había tirado por aquí a ver si había algo. Está abierto. Zona segura. Es la de antes, sí. Es la inicial. La zona inicial.
Sound lingers.
Adelante. Segundo piso. Es este en el que está la incubadora, ¿verdad? ¿Sí puedo subir esto? Un poco sin que aparezca el sol. Ay. A veces cuando me muevo se ve aquí un fogonazo de luz. Dependiendo. Lo de por dónde venga el sol. Me pilla el sol ahora mismo detrás. Y a veces se cuela. Pero sí, prefiero un poco de luz. No, cuando acabe de grabar esto... son las 5:30. Cuando acabe de grabar esto, como sean más de las 6:30, es de noche.
There's someone in the distance.
Es el ratio.
Who is that?
Conozco esta máscara.
Here, a genius move. And how will you counter it? Only an idiot would ask such a question. Just move this here.
Hola, buenas.
You look distressed. Something the matter? If that's the case,
La
you better
máscara...
get thinking.
La máscara es como la de un set de artefactos, ¿no?
Are you waiting for a sign?
Vale.
Time is ticking.
Voy a aprovechar y voy a ir a por agua.
Have you considered whether the answer to your question will be of any relevance to our current predicament?
Que no quiero dejar a los sordos cuando me sueno y aún así lo sigo viendo en el micrófono que sube una barbaridad.
If a question is of no help, then don't ask it. Time is clearly precious to the both of us.
Muy bien.
Never mind. Allow me to clarify something. I know exactly who you are. And I'm aware you are in Ron May's employ. This was not my intended destination. I just happened to find my way here during my visit and saw what she was up to.
Pero cuando hemos dicho que nos dijera las formas de vida, no nos ha dicho que estaba ¿verdad? Ha dicho Ruan May, que Ruan May se refiere a nosotros porque llevamos su chip. Y formas de vida alienígena. No creo que sea alienígena.
My goals are roughly aligned with yours. Since you're here, I won't intercede. But should you fail, I will be forced to prevent some avoidable misfortunes. That's all you need.
Es el que nos dan gratis. Por lo visto está rotísimo.
Two
A Unitarget.
paragraphs. Very effective communication.
Jin Liu y mi Víctor, por lo visto, a 3 lo funden, pero a 1 no. A 1 gana hace 0. Todos. ¿Por qué llevas una cabeza de escayola?
Because I can't bear to see idiots. Of course.
Lo de la cabeza de escayola sí que lo hemos visto en el otro lado. En el registro.
Ron May's creation is hidden in the giant incubator below us. Go. Take the elevator and bear witness to this genius
Un
masterpiece.
escarabajo gigante como el salón olvidado. No había cofres por aquí, ¿no? El ataque del 8 es más rápido. Por si me asaltan. Bueno. Andan ahí. Está aquí, está aquí.
This is huge. The space station has an area this big?
Vale, la primera vez que me enfrente a él no voy a poder ver sus debilidades, ¿no? Tendré que comerme la primera. Igual hacerlo a la segunda. Who knows? Como para no haberlo visto, ¿eh? Que no uses la lanza.
An emanator of propagation clone? How can that be?
Es clon. Rey de enjambre de tus estrellas. Caravaras. Simulación.
Pay attention.
ponerlo en rápido, eso te iba a decir. Voy a ver si se duplica primero, antes de gastar el ulti. Y si no, podemos meter a Argenti.
Some value, I suppose.
Mientras que se encuentra el estado de multiplicación, el rey no me ha dado tiempo. Vale, aquí Argenti. Retirarnos. Vamos a meter a Argentino en el equipardo. Por Jimeco. Ya subí el cono de Argenti también. Por lo que... ¿Lo puedo sacar, no? ¿No? Por lo que ya no hay que cambiarlo entre Jimeco y Argenti. Tenía el mismo puesto. Vale. ¿Ves? Esto lo hacen a velocidad normal, pero es que yo ya soy incapaz de jugar a velocidad normal. Y Argenti es que lo tengo muy lideado para que vaya con Hania, es lo único. Tú vete subiendo.
There's more to life. Every petal, all will be swept away by
Me quedó el
the
niño
wind.
bloqueado.
Receive divinity. My gratitude is yours. A blade knows no
Specific Wonder.
You chose the wrong enemy.
Vamos a seguir haciendo
Some
focus.
value, I suppose. Existence is unity.
Fail to send you.
Creo que con la ulti de Argenti, la no cargada, podemos deshacernos de los otros. Y le vamos haciendo daño. Tiene 2 fases este, ¿eh?
I will dispatch you. I will protect all beauty.
Va bien Argenti.
Until I see. I will protect all beauty.
Ahí, ahí. Voy a guardar el ulti. ¿Por qué no atacas a Blade? Le quitamos el debuffo también.
The warmth of life.
Vamos
Every
bajando.
petal in life's garden, all will be swept away by the wind.
Pues hay 3.
Eternal sleep. The dead return.
Ponemos la cura.
That paradise, savor it for me.
Receive divinity.
Unnecessary. Fail to send you.
Desperdició la ulti. Creí que iban a sobrevivir, pero bueno.
You chose the wrong
Para que se llevase la energía Argenti.
Enjoying yourself?
Les encuentra este multiplicador libera el hambre cada vez que recibe un ataque. Ok, ok. Comprendo.
A blade knows no mercy. The fight is set.
So this is the warmth.
I will Eternal sleep is not the end. The dead return.
Tenía que haberlo hecho al revés.
Every petal and all will be swept away by the wind.
Con esto igual le hubiéramos roto la... A esta.
Receive divinity. Unnecessary. Repay.
Ahí, empezamos a pegar.
That paradise may be. Savor it for me. Duty is eternal.
Los tampoco. Ahora nos van a salvar el culo, ¿verdad? Porque nosotros no podemos hacer nada. No sé por qué me da esa impresión. Igual a luchar. Eso te iba a decir. Igual se sobrepasó. No sé por qué.
The threat is over. Time to get going.
La voz de Ratio me gusta.
Is it over? I need to get some answers out of Ronmei.
No está limpia esperando. Vale, vosotros estáis felices. Me alegro. Y ese será el bicho que hay que matar para conseguir el rastro, ¿verdad? Podían haber dado ahora uno gratis. Voy a tener que matarlo bastantes veces. Ahora ya lo entendemos.
The meeting of geniuses is over. As for the future of the simulated universe, that conclusion isn't important. What's important is your task. You look upset, correct? I regret my actions. There's no defending what I've done. Time and again, my experiments have fallen short, and they've always yielded predictable results. I made a clone, but it doesn't hold a candle to the emanator.
Se murió ella solita.
Exactly as predicted. 56 seconds on the dot. Restrained by time and place, its code of life could only be considered an incomplete attempt. I managed to replicate the moment it was born. However, it would soon disappear and be reduced to particles. Like every living being, it inevitably faced its demise as it journeyed towards the end. I find no fault in that. However, even the briefest life should have meaning. I want to know the limits of its capacity. It will indicate how far I've gone in a field completely incomprehensible to me. And it was a minuscule step, just as I had predicted.
¿Qué tal la vida fuera de la investigación?
I do not have a life outside of research. People always think this price is unimaginable, but it seems rather acceptable to me. I must admit, I'm not fond of scenarios where everything aligns perfectly with my expectations. An experiment should have its unforeseen twists. That's where the joy lies. Even the most predictable storylines can have their pleasant surprises. I have to admit that these little ones born in the process sometimes move me. I see a human-like response in them. It is a concept completely opposite to that of divinity.
Voy a poner así por si quiero hacer otra captura de pantalla para la segunda parte.
Emotions may be either positive or negative. However, the love rooted in the depths of their heart is eternal and unchanging. They're still a long way from becoming geniuses, and are therefore unable to discern whether this love is one of friendship, romance, or familial love. That being said, can even geniuses tell the difference? I cannot, at least. I do not understand what love is, and cannot respond to their feelings.
Ya te lo enseño yo.
Do you believe my actions were wrong?
Yo qué sé.
There's no need to tell me your answer. I just felt like asking the question. How should I take care of them? Perhaps leaving them at the space station is the best choice.
Pero con la gente, ¿no? Ahí abajo,
Do I
marginada.
seem irresponsible? I'm sorry. I am often at a loss as to how to face my own creations. The effects of the anti-truth serum will also wear off. If others mention me to you in the future, you can answer however you like. Or even pretend you never knew me. After all, your memory of me will soon dissipate like smoke.
Me acabo de perder.
Over time, hidden truths tend to surface. Past traumas, which I'd rather leave behind, have made me skeptical about trusting anyone but myself. If I do not want a secret revealed, the most foolproof way is to destroy it. The anti-truth serum will make you forget the brief period we spent together.
Ah, genial.
It won't take effect immediately. It is a slow, intangible process, like the sweet fragrance of lotus leaves, plum blossom, sticky rice, and frosting sugar. Perhaps you'll remember someone performed selfish experiments on the space station, but you will no longer remember their identity. Perhaps we'll meet again someday.
Qué rápido se mueve el planeta
You
de ahí
won't be
atrás,
able to
¿verdad?
connect me with the recollection.
Qué mareo.
That way, the connection
Por
between
suerte es
life
plano.
forms will be erased. Friendships, secrets, grudges, lies, all will disappear. It will make our lives more relaxing.
No te
I
olvidaré.
believe you. Screwlum will stay on the space station for a while longer. He and Herta still have problems they need to solve. As for me, I'm leaving soon and won't bother with goodbyes. Do you still remember the no man's land I mentioned? I'm considering a solo trip back there during my research downtime, just to see how things are.
Vale.
I miss member number 55 reaching to
¿De
sometimes.
esta hablaron?
She used to always make something delicious for me to drink every time we parted ways. I hope I won't meet member number 4 Polka Kakamond. That would be quite troublesome. Who knows when the next gathering of geniuses will be? Do you have anything else you want to say to me?
Lo decía Dumbledore. ¿Ya confías en mí?
I find that difficult to answer. I thank you, Mr. Assistant. If fate allows and you're interested, upon our next meeting, we could journey to No Man's Land and traverse its tranquil glaciers.
Como marido y mujer.
Though I suppose it wouldn't be No Man's Land anymore. What a conundrum.
Radio, radio. Eso es. Estos dos me recuerdan a Gandalf y ya. Está lavando el otro. Cuando brillan las estrellas, se acabó. Verificación de visitantes. Romeo esta visita en el expreso. Puede que te encuentres por Romeo cuando regrese al tren. Dios, ¿dónde toca? La corona del médico divino, problemas mundanos, inicio. Esta es la siguiente, ¿no? Cuéntale hasta sobre la partida de Romeo. Aquí conoceremos a Ratio, ¿no? Entiendo. Pues vamos a ver. Pararé y volveré a iniciar. Vale, estamos. Vamos a seguir con los problemas mundanos. Cuéntale hasta sobre la partida de Ruanmei. Lo que he hecho ha sido pegarme contra este. Me ha matado al nivel máximo, así que he tenido que poner el anterior y le he colocado al Watch a una cadena de recarga de energía. Ya veremos qué tal va. Y le tengo que poner velocidad, que llevo botas de ataque. Y es que no tengo velocidad en ningún substat y necesito 120 para activar el set. Bienvenido, herido me suena familiar. ¿Qué cuentas? Tendré que darle al play.
Heriter Newsflash. Good evening, Madame Herta fans.
Vertederos.
This is an urgent broadcast.
Como vertedero.
The great Madame Herta, member 83 of the Genius Society, has been targeted in an attack at the space station. Her current whereabouts are unknown, with no group having stepped forward to claim responsibility. Many Heritors are upset at the ineptitude of upper management, having issued strong protest and condemnation.
Ah, que puedo volver a poner. Me parece chulísimo. Bien situados a la alerta. Vale, vamos al lío. Eso es. Ay, dejarme salir ya de aquí, que quiero ir a hacer la misión, gracias. De la oficina de Erta. La tuerta. Sí, a ver, un poco de velocidad no le va a venir mal. Lo que pasa es que tiene un 40% de daño con las botas. Y el daño a este lo que hace es aumentar su cura, ¿no? Si no recuerdo mal. Que no sé. Tampoco queremos que vaya el primero porque no va a curar a nadie si acaba de empezar el combate.
Mr. Scrollum, this was a premeditated attack.
Conclusion. Their target was the space station, but their strategies are still unknown to us.
That's right. Which is
Ratio.
precisely why we need him. The last to lay eyes on Herta's puppet before the attack was him.
De hecho, captura.
And you are?
This is Dr. Ratio of the Intelligentsia Guild, a delegate from the IPC.
He's only just woken up, dazed. He may need a few
Maravilloso.
pointers. Ah, we cross paths again. Do you remember me? Of course. Why would you? Memory is such a fickle thing, after all.
Mr. Trailblazer, you must have many questions. Please be patient.
Hasta están para nada.
Pastor will explain it all to you.
You probably know the gist of things already. A few system hours ago, one of Madame Herta's puppets was attacked by an unknown perpetrator. We don't know the location of the puppet, and we can't pinpoint its signal.
¿No había cámaras de seguridad? ¿Me están interrogando?
No. The attack happened on a base outside the station, beyond the surveillance camera's range. She's away on a visit. This issue didn't
Una
seem to
visita.
trouble her much.
She received an invitation from the IPC before
La
the
corporación.
attack occurred.
Lo de la chica del chanchito.
Ah, the technology department. Charming little place, isn't it? Madame Yabuli does possess some semblance of competence, but her subordinates? Oof. Oh, they're a riot. Brimming with enthusiasm, yet utterly devoid of intellect. It's as if evolution halted prematurely for them. They want to start some new collaborations with Herta, and have graciously extended an invite for me to play the role of science consultant. It's delightfully amusing. I can't wait to witness firsthand how these geniuses from the so-called Super Smart Club squander the IPC's vast resources.
Club de los superinteligentes. Me lo voy a guardar eso para el grupo de daños a dragón.
However, this attack was timed a little too well. I can't help but wonder if someone leaked this information, and the attackers seized the opportunity. Herta's aloof response to these juvenile provocations? Almost as intriguing. What a delightful little puzzle.
I've long heard that you're one of the best researchers in the guild, Dr. Ratio. We are honored to have your assistance.
Save your flattery. Time is hardly a luxury we can squander.
To debate the merits of mere mortals in the company of an actual genius? Quite the paradox, if you ask me. Excuse me, you. Tell me, what were you doing the last time you saw that puppet?
Paseando al perro con Arlan. Yo estaría paseando al perro. Escuchando hasta quejarse.
Huh? I do remember that happening, I think.
Don't play the fool. Think.
I think I was.
Estaba haciendo el sucio.
I need your help with something else. That curio's gone missing, and I can't just forget about it. Go find it for me when you have the time. I'm sure you can manage that, can't you?
¿Ves? Ella es más la Gerta de siempre que la de la misión anterior.
Again, in case you forgot. It's an.
¡Una puta!
It's alive, but it doesn't have a body.
Ah, como Lefa. Es Lefa.
Send me a signal when you see traces of it.
Se ven los rastros fáciles, sí. ¿Lefa?
I think she mentioned something important, but I can't remember. If only there were some hints. Then maybe...
Igual no quieres encontrar esas pruebas. Es Lefa.
Anyway, keep up the good work. I need to go out for a bit. Go ask Asta if you want someone to help you.
Mejor que no lo vea.
My memory is kind of hazy. What did I do after that?
Beber agua.
This is what I recall before I
Ya me había olvidado de esto que salía al principio del juego. No me gustaba nada, ¿eh?
Let me try to remember the conversation with Asta.
Me parecía súper aburrido el tener que entrar como en una... Te ponía la pantalla en negro, te decía algo y ya estaba.
Sorry, but nothing comes to mind. Maybe the researchers at the departments of ecology or insight may have an idea.
Ecología, seguramente.
Hinkle and are around here somewhere. I'd suggest you ask them about it.
Ah, no es cum. 3 letras cum.
2 researchers from the departments of ecology and insight.
If I discover who's behind this, they're gonna wish they'd never crossed me. A curio that's alive but doesn't have a body?
Todo apunta a la Lefa. Vale, ojo.
Nowadays people call them wubbaboos?
Bababuy.
Well, I might be the Department of Ecology head, but I'm not the most knowledgeable person when it comes to curios. Adler would be of more help, but he's been investigating some paranormal phenomenon. I haven't seen him all day.
Se refiere al váter. Ahora no solo debo encontrar un objeto raro, también tengo que encontrar una persona.
I must say, it's a little embarrassing for the space station to be in such disarray while guests are visiting. We've been through a huge crisis and are still recovering. But there are some who are trying to exploit the chaos to agitate the workforce. People are growing more and more distrustful of the management here.
No hace falta que me lo cuentes todo.
Turned into a big headache for Asta too. Never mind, I shouldn't be telling you this.
Tal cual.
It's something that we researchers need to resolve ourselves.
Adler. Right.
Para tus recuerdos tienen pistas importantes, lagunas mentales con... esto va a ser como lo de Genshin, lo de los casos.
Adler was with them.
Departamento de cognición, Hinkel, Adler.
Adler was with Orlin.
Con el negro.
He went to the scene
El amigo de Blade. El que sabe, sabe.
I know you're upset.
Racism.
We're walking the dog.
We're having a walk.
¿Podrían ponerse de acuerdo?
Like I said, we're walking the dog.
So I'm the dog?
They seem to be hiding something.
Is there something you need?
Busco a Adler. Se habrá colado por el váter.
What a coincidence. We're looking for him too. That kid sure is brave, running straight to the scene on his own.
¿No se supone que estaba pasando el perro?
Yes, well, Peppy isn't here, you see. Brother Arlen, I can't keep
Hermano Arlan, brother Arlan. ¿Lo llamas bro porque es negro?
Can you leave the talking to me next time?
¿Algún problema?
Let's walk and talk. Why are you looking for Adler? A lost curio.
Yo qué sé.
I see. He'll be able to help.
¿A dónde tengo que ir? Ah. ¿Por abajo? ¿O por aquí, por el lateral? Parece que está cortado, ¿no? Por aquí no se puede. Estos no sepias. Sí, supongo que habrá que bajar. Eso solo nos sirve para poner aquí un puente. Habrá que ir bajando.
Careful. The fragmentum in this area is very unstable.
Está muy tranquilo. Vale, le pegaremos.
Existence is unity.
Está muy tranquilo ahí sentado contemplando la existencia. Y lo vamos a matar.
I will protect all beauty.
Life. A true marvel.
Over there! As I thought, he's in trouble. Let's go!
Oh. Eternal.
Vamos a ver. Ah, ¿podemos ponerlo en auto? Perfecto.
Receive divinity. The dead return. Rigid and fleeting.
All will be swept away by the wind.
Es una cuestión de hacer damages, no tenemos... Te le tendrá que romper... Vale, sí carga más rápido, y se nota.
Existence is unity.
Beauty is eternal. I will protect all beauty.
Failed to set
Pim.
Nothing major.
Hasta luego, Anacleto.
Are you okay?
Mira dónde estaba el perro.
That's me. What's up?
He wants to ask you something about curios. I'll
Sí.
leave you to it. Adler, Peppy's in your hands now. Oh, about that investigation I asked for.
Don't worry. I think I figured something out. Catch you later.
A ver, puede ser listo aunque sea un niño.
So, which curio do you want to know?
Uno que no tiene cuerpo pero está vivo.
All you got? Too abstract.
Fue todo lo que dijo Erta.
Well, there's beauty in the abstract, I guess.
Supongo.
Ask the Department of Ecology head?
Ahí lo llevo diciendo yo desde el principio. Dijo que se podía ser un bobo.
She's not wrong. But that doesn't feel entirely
Bababuy,
right
bababuy. Bababuy. Escuché que hay algo así en Lefa.
What did I say?
Lefa.
Huh. Now that you mention it, I have a wild hypothesis. Let's call it a day.
Adler seems to have gotten a lead, but what was the information I forgot? And from whom?
¿Tiene algo que ver con Ruanmei, con lo que nos dio? Del grupo que algunos recuerdos son borrosos, algunas partes de la conversación aparecerán como boom al explorar los recuerdos.
Let's go over it from the start. My memories of Arlen and Ad.
Vamos de recuerdo en recuerdo como un Inception.
A curio that's alive but doesn't have a body.
Laguna mental.
How's it going? Did you find the...
No tengo ninguna base.
Is that what...
See?
My researchers are pretty outstanding.
¿Mm? Tienes un problema.
Business as usual, nothing to worry about.
Déjame ayudar.
After the Legion's invasion, the space station has been under constant scrutiny. Physical damage can be easily repaired, but it takes a long time to heal the wounds in people's hearts. Some researchers have been questioning the management and security of the space station ever since the invasion. Things had settled down a bit with the reconstruction efforts, but the researchers' disappearances have rattled them again.
Apariciones.
Yes. 4 researchers have inexplicably disappeared in a matter of days. No exit logs, no traces. Vanished. People were just starting to regain their footing after the catastrophe. I didn't want panic to spread, so I suppressed the reports and told the security department to investigate in secret. However, as you can see, it's hard to keep secrets in a sardine can like this. Rebuilding trust is harder than establishing it in the first place. Anyway, the most important thing is to get to the bottom of the disappearances. That's okay, but thank you for the offer. Aren't you helping Madame Herta with something already? Oh, by the way, I heard about the thing you mentioned, and I'll look into it too. I'll find a way to solve the problem for the space station.
De acuerdo.
So I did consult someone else other than Hinkle. The only thing I remember is that they're from the Department of Insight.
Este mes puede cenar el doblador del prota.
The other person should be from the Department of Insight. And each
Departamento de cognición.
remember who it is.
Cognición.
The other person. Identifying that person is crucial. It could be the key to making sense of everything.
Hey, what brings you here?
I'm not that wonderful. I'm just okay.
It's all taken care of. As long as the money's there, it's all.
Ponen el dinero de la compañía.
Here's the account you asked for. It's legit and secure, allowing you to connect straight to the intranet.
Sure. Can I help you with something?
Oh, you.
Pues se referían a Gwen y tenía 3 letras.
I'm just a peddler doing a little business on the side. Small scale. Best left under the table. But if you ever make it big in the guild, don't forget your humble friend, okay?
Again? How many times has it been? You're really pushing my buttons.
Here too. My memories are just a jumbled mess of words. Did my memory piece together irrelevant information?
Sí.
Now I remember. The other person is Emily. She was at the base zone.
Base zone.
What did Emily say?
Vale, vamos a ver. Vale, ahora estamos en otro sitio. Ok.
I say, what a wonderfully intelligent-looking young lady. No need to be modest. At my age, you get a feel for intelligence. Though I confess I did hear someone say you were the shining star of the Department of Insight.
Hasta luego.
Sure. Can I help you with something?
See this material here? People are so inconsiderate.
Bien.
How's someone like me supposed to make out the small print? I'm not getting any younger, and my eyesight is failing. Do
Ahí va
you
la
think
jampa.
you can?
Again?
¿Qué fue?
How many times has it been? You're really pushing my buttons.
Perdón, si puedo decir algo.
Another smart-looking youngster. Wonderful.
Puedo
It's
bajar la
about
presión.
time we had some new recruits.
1833. Una pena.
Huh. Asta told you to find me? A curio that doesn't have a body but is alive. Isn't the Department of Ecology full of curio experts? However, I've heard of such a species. A colleague who came back from a business trip said that the Cienjo Alliance has life forms like that. Don't get me wrong, I was merely relaying information. I didn't mean I'd help you.
The Cienjo species Emily mentioned seems to be what inspired Adler. The Cienjo species Emily...
Y que repite las cosas.
I figured you'd come to me. I'm sorry. The situation is...
Just as I thought. My vague...
Vale, voy a ir pasando esto.
I'm sorry. I see.
Sí.
Could you...
¿Encontraste algo sobre las
I'll be
desapariciones?
honest with you. It's been tough. The surveillance didn't capture anything regarding the research.
Estamos como empezamos.
There's only one clue. Adler observed that the automatic fire suppression system was momentarily activated around the time the disappearances occurred.
José Bretón.
That means that every victim's disappearance was accompanied by some inexplicable fire. When we made visits to the scenes, some of the witness testimonies seemed to agree with this. The
Vale.
words they used were
Combustión espontánea del cuerpo.
combustion of the human
Eso es
body.
preocupante.
Have you asked the Department of...
Vale. Vamos a usar... Vale, ok.
She's not wrong. That's right.
Heliobas.
They're called heliobi. Huh. Now that you mention it, let's call it a day.
Spontaneous combustion of the human body. That's most likely the truth. I need to go over it from the start.
Vaya cacao.
Let me describe it again in case you... Send me a signal when you...
I think she mentioned if only there were some...
Vamos a usar... unidades de energía.
Let me describe it again in case you forgot. It's an energy... Send me a signal when you see... That's
Estamos
not
buscando un
point. I
heliobos,
wouldn't
¿no?
be bothering with it if it didn't have something to do with the Genius Society. Anyway, keep up the good work. I need...
Muy bien. Vuelta al presente, sí. Hemos quedado atorados media hora aquí en el interrogatorio, ahí. Un poco down.
I commend your stamina for recounting that interminable tale.
Tal cual.
Must be exhausted.
No hagáis como el Genshin, por favor, no os convertéis en el Genshin. Cuanto al texto.
So, to sum it up, the last time you laid eyes on Herta was in her office. She sent you on a wild goose chase for some trinket, the curio. After which you knew nothing else until Lady Asta contacted you. If that's the narrative you're sticking to, then indulge me. Who, pray tell, can substantiate this captivating dream?
Arlan. Recibido mensaje. Santo cielo. Oh, el duque inferno este de... Salió en el anterior directo.
Herald
HONKAI.
Newsflash. This is an urgent broadcast.
El
I
duque
repeat,
inferno,
this
como
is
se
an
llame.
urgent broadcast. News has
Es
finally
de los
emerged
terroristas.
regarding the attack on Madame Herta. The Annihilation Gang has claimed responsibility for the incident and warned of further activity. The Guild has expressed utmost condemnation.
The gods of the starry skies have abandoned the world. They give no thought to the masses. Only the wounded savior can bathe the world in the firelight of destruction. Yet always there are cowards trying in vain to reject their favor and escape the wounds. Flee then. Flee as far as you can. No matter the distance, annihilation will find you.
Chulísimo.
This is...
A declaration of war, and an announcement of what's to come. They have set their sights on you.
¿Pero qué he hecho yo?
The Legion's impact remains, and the Annihilation Gang is already paying a visit.
This Duke Inferno Ifrit is a life form that hails from Fatora, a world long since destroyed. His race, the ever-burning fire demons, regard Nanook as their emperor and savior, but the Eon has never cast their gaze upon them.
En mí sí.
A group of pitiful
Igual por eso están obsesionados conmigo.
I like Dr. Primitive's assessment of them. The value Nanook sees in the Annihilation Gang is perhaps far less than one might see in a child who deliberately broke a vase. The fire demons have a cruel temper and instinctively ignite and destroy items.
Canción de fuego eterno, ¿eh?
Ifrit is particularly evil and cruel, even among his kin. The Everflame mansion he heads is even the arch-enemy of the Japella Brotherhood, despite both groups belonging to the Annihilation Gang.
Japella Brotherhood? I've heard that name somewhere.
Capelas.
On the Stellaron
Los Peaky
Hunters
Blinders.
wanted posters, they stand accused of inciting the Japella Rebellion, the uprising that caused the downfall of the Brotherhood.
The Japella Palace crumbled in the scorching flames, and Ifrit's power has grown by the day ever since. Something similar is about to happen here. Spontaneous combustion? For him, it's as routine as me finding fault in everything. The disappearance of researchers and the puppet were all part of the plan.
Me gusta, ya nos van metiendo en cosas que van a ser de Colonipenal, ¿verdad?
That video will soon circulate. And this station's fate? Flames. Nothing but flames.
The destruction of trust.
I'm afraid more than trust will be destroyed here. You need to start acting now if you want to survive. You, come with me.
Nos van a dejar probar al ratio. ¿Solo yo?
You have a superior strategy? Pray tell, do we set the two of them loose, turning whispered fears into full-blown pandemonium?
Quitando pelusas de gato del micrófono.
If we did that, we'd be at a disadvantage. I'll stay here and try to contain the news as best I can. Please, investigate the issue quickly.
Vámonos. Me gusta cuando me pega un poco más. Estaba siendo bastante texto.
Are there other matters?
A ver el que dice la Black Mamba.
Not good. This is serious. The security department will do whatever we can to help you.
A list of the missing researchers?
Sure, but the security department already combed through their backgrounds and personal relationships. We didn't find anything odd. The Annihilation Gang are a group of die-hard thugs. They might be attacking indiscriminately.
A list of the missing researchers and their details.
Bueno, se pone como Nanami.
Okay.
Take it. Remember these names. Find a friend who's tuned into the gossip around here and tell them you want to know the relationship between these people.
¿Qué tienes en mente?
I don't know. That depends on your friend.
¿Y a quién llamo? ¿A Kafka? Pamela. No me van a hacer ni caso. Una foto de Jimeko por un chisme. Puedes apuntarlo en mi cuenta. Por cada 5 intercambios me das una foto más. Tipo de ti. Es cierto que a esta le pedimos una foto a Jimeko. Ayúdame a encontrar la conexión entre estas personas. También esta no me va a hacer ni caso. Ah, vale, creí que se interrumpía por los puntos suspensivos. Mientras puedo organizar, soy feliz, yo también. No te preocupes, me pondré en contacto contigo si tengo alguna noticia. Okay. ¿Podemos llamar a otra persona?
Take me to the one who knows the most about curios within the Department of Ecology, if you would be so kind.
He disappeared.
Ha desaparecido Con el que acabamos de hablar. Adler. Me salía Arlan.
I didn't really notice at first.
Tal cual.
Adler's difficult to get a hold of at the best of times. But it's been a few system hours, and I still can't reach him. Even the surveillance cameras can't find any trace. The last time I saw him was in the Master Control Zone. He was with Wen Sherling from the Department of Implement Arts.
Lead the way. You said Adler was on the verge of a discovery, yet couldn't confer his knowledge. Intriguing and frustrating, to say the least. If his disappearance is also related to the case here, then maybe he really did stumble upon something important.
True. The keywords that got Adler thinking were energy life forms. Duke Inferno is also an energy life form. Coincidence? We need to investigate this.
Nahan. Necesito tu ayuda. ¿Qué sucede? El gran duque del infierno. Mejor no meterse con él. La estación espacial está en problemas. Entendido, espérame mi mensaje. Ten cuidado, avísanos si la situación cambia. Intenta tener pintas de Wenchilin. ¿Has desaparecido tu madre? Ah, no, esta es Wenchilin. Pero...
Jerk! Fine! Disappear! I don't ever want to see your face again!
¿Qué te hizo?
Adler, he disappeared. He's been acting really weird recently. Always researching stuff like spontaneous combustion, supernatural activities. He doesn't even answer me when I speak to him.
Hablando
He
solo.
was talking to himself.
What did he talk about?
He kept saying the word phrase.
Phrase.
Lo encontraremos. Phrase es muy distinto de Ifrit.
But if you want to find him, he was reading this booklet the last time I saw
Seguro que
him.
solo hay dicks dibujadas.
I don't know exactly what he's searching for, but I hope it can help you.
A ver, Pamela. ¿Conseguiste algo? Sí, pero no es lo que esperas. Las víctimas parecen no tener ninguna relación, pero... Todos ellos han publicado comentarios radicales contra la gerencia en la red oscura. Cuenta con un gran número de seguidores. Dios radical. Sé que este resultado plantea algunas dudas, pero por desgracia es la verdad. Thank you.
Your countenance suggests tragedy.
Tratar los hallazgos de Pamela.
So the researchers who disappeared were at the forefront of challenging management. Isn't that a curious puzzle piece?
Un poco extraño, ¿no?
I finished browsing through this booklet while you were replying to messages. It recorded the lives of a few Genius Society members. I'd say it contains some interesting information. It's time to go back and chat with Lady Asta and Mr. Screwlam.
Oh. Ay, ¿qué dice Dan Hanga? Dan Hange, tan colgado. Creo que el tema de Ifrit no es tan sencillo. Los demonios de fuego de Fetora son feroces y crueles por naturaleza, pero Ifrit es ascendido fácilmente al puesto de líder del clan. Incluso entre los demonios de fuego su llama pertenece a una categoría especial. ¿Qué quieres decir? En muchos incidentes investigados por la Mansión del Fuego Eterno encontré informes de testigos similares que afirmaban que los malhechores se materializaban desde el infierno. Supongo que la llama de Ifrit también ha heredado algún tipo de... A ver, que me he perdido. Relacionado con, además de la combustión, he oído con una llama con propiedades similares que es difícil de atrapar porque viaja entre dimensiones. No hay mucha información al respecto, solo destaca una frase, quemando mundos y dejando detrás de sí pues de las llamas. Ifrit debe ser uno de sus descendientes, viaja entre dimensiones. todo lo que sé. Muchos pocos registros sobre el tema. No sé si te servía de algo suficiente. Hala. Bueno, nos dan más pistas, va a haber otro puto interrogatorio. O recuerdos. Con molesto que reacción de Roanmei. Me gusta que estén ya aquí. Ah, claro, porque este es el... Ah, ya.
Every petal in all will be swept away by the wind.
Ding, 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 ding.
A blade knows no mercy. Your end approaches.
Vamos al lío.
My oath is to a solitary. Wretched and fleeting. I underestimate Bloom.
Unnecessary. I failed to send you.
Y con esto matamos al chanchito, ¿no? Breves. Vale, perfecto.
A moment's excitement, nothing more.
Vale, me mola que le den uso a esta zona. Pensaba que la iban a dejar abandonada solo para monstruos.
I've been monitoring the dark web. I barely managed to stop the video from spreading. The incident hasn't grown any bigger, for now. How are things with you?
Less than promising. Or to use a different phrase, we're in deep trouble. We're running out of time. Let's retrace our steps and evaluate the situation. From the data we've collected, there are 3 avenues we can explore.
Comienza la aplicación.
First, Adler's disappearance. He must have come across some vital information.
Vamos a hablar en todo.
You think that Adler...
Indeed. First, Adler's disappearance. He must have come across some vital information.
I understand.
Tenuous first. Adler's
¿Raste?
disappearance.
I understand.
Tenuous
Es para el siguiente.
The next angle is what
distasteful disgust.
A mere glance at their background would, however, Lady Asta must. The next angle is what the victims have in common.
Y tampoco hay nada.
Distasteful as that discussion may be. Last is the abilities
Vale, aquí
of
sí.
Duke Inferno, and you probably the fire demon of Fatora. Last is the abilities of
Juego que
Duke
traspasa
Inferno.
dimensiones.
During prior on the flickering tongues of Duke Inferno's fire carrying a certain property. Look, the answer is right there. This booklet describes a kind of fire that can phase through dimensions.
It's the phase flame. The creation of member number 29, Sir Carl. She was an amazing genius.
Llama de fast.
Intelligent, kind, and humble. However, she lived for a mere 29 days on the human calendar. Such a pity. The phase flame shifted into a different phase as soon as it was created. When it returned to this phase, Sir Carl had already passed away. It then continued to shift through phases, making its capture impossible.
This booklet describes a kind of fire that can
Damos el
phase
cuaderno.
through dimensions.
I understand.
Tenuous This booklet
El
describes a
cuaderno.
kind of fire that can phase through dimensions, claiming it burns through worlds, leaving.
I understand.
Tenuous connect. This
Nada.
booklet describes the
Pues
kindling of this unique flame must be the missing curio that Hurt has been searching for. And
somebody was once able to glimpse the traces of the phase flame and obtained a wisp. If Ifrit is a scion of the phase flame,
the kindling of this unique flame must be the missing curio that Hurt has been searching for. I fear that this is the truth Adler discovered. Undoubtedly, the curio Hurt and Adler already discovered the relationship between. I fear that this is the truth Adler discovered.
Lo de frase quería decir fase, ¿no?
When Sherling said, I believe this word was actually, as a scion of the phase flame, Duke
Vale, lo hemos
Inferno
entendido.
would naturally share similar capabilities. Full-on phase shifting may be a bit too ambitious for him, but teleportation, that's likely more his speed. That
Hay un
is
cofre ahí
the
detrás.
truth of the spontaneous human combustion.
Vale.
We don't know where the victims went, but Duke Inferno's plan is now clear, and the sudden and consecutive disappearances provided the best environment for chaos to fester. Once the seed of unrest has sprouted, he will then send out an announcement for an imminent attack. It will push the crisis from the dark into the light, catalyzing it into new growth and bloom. The next
Bloom,
step
eso es
would
lo
be
que
to
dice el broche.
ignite the spark. Look at those researchers who disappeared. What would happen if someone realized their similarities? I need say no more.
What could you do?
It was all a premeditated trap to stir up chaos on the space station.
We're running out of time.
Otro archivo. Vale, ya lo sabe todo el mundo.
This...
Se filtró.
No, it isn't enough.
Indeed, it needs one more spark.
What do you mean?
If you limit your involvement to this, there's still room for excuses. If it were me, I wouldn't give you the chance.
Could it be?
Huh? What is it?
Goodbye. Bueno, están bastante tranquilos.
Stay calm. Asta was merely teleported. Her life was not in danger. Based on first-hand experience, I have ascertained that Ifrit's flame is simply a splinter of the primordial phase flame, lacking any phase shiftability. Logic. Asta is still within the confines of the space station.
¿Qué hacemos ahora?
That flame must still be somewhere inside the station. Find it, and we'll find a way to bring her back.
Okay.
A splinter, you say? The arrogance of the gifted is charming in its own way. Try then if you must.
It seems that Duke Inferno didn't deign to personally grace the space station. He merely cast infernal fire into our midst to wreak havoc among the researchers. When the fire fizzles out, his malevolent plans will vanish without a trace.
I will head to Herta's office and activate the folded space in the curio storage room. With Mr. Ratio, please go with Mr. Trailblazer and contain the fire.
Equipo decente. Ah, que tiene que estar ratio. Ratio el felatio. Necesitamos a alguien que cure. 1, 2. Ah, vale. 1, 2.
Shame. I can't give you the burial that you seek.
Ratio aquí. Y tendrá que ser argente. 3 hipercarry. Sí. Pero bueno, nos deja probar
Fire is
al
also a
ratito.
form of energy life form. The imaging device will pick up its trace. Follow it.
Ahí va. No sé lo que hace eso, pero bueno. Ah, qué bonito. Está mal hecho, pero está hecho. Qué bien. Hay que mirar todo por si acaso hay algún cofre que luego no podemos recoger.
The way is awash with flames. Be careful. Get ready to dash into the fire.
Un tiro atravesado puede generar desplazamiento. Ok.
See? It's still in the space station. Like Skrullum said, it cannot escape from
El
here.
Gasly.
Do you know what to do with cornered prey? Hunt it to the death.
Me parece bien. Mira, está aquí el bicho de Herta, que no como que no me acuerdo cómo se llama. El de la tarta de queso. Pues era el otro.
The fire is dying. This place is strange.
It's still resisting.
Está abierto ahí.
The fold in the space has shifted.
A ver cuánto nos hacen perseguir.
Until I will protect all beauty.
Your answers?
Test.
Este hacía algo con los efectos de estado, ¿verdad? No recuerdo mal.
Fight is set. That paradise, savor it for me.
Receive divinity.
Let's go. ¿Esta no es? Se pone que no. ¿Ya sé de allá? Hay que acercarse mucho con este para pegar, ¿eh? Pero tiene velocidad.
You impede me. Your end approaches. Bloom. Unnecessary. Fail to send you.
Muerto. Nos podríamos curar. Pero no está en el de arriba, pone, ¿no? Coño, queda atascado. Me va a tepear otra vez. Arriba.
Savor it for me.
Receive divinity. The dead return!
Test. The fight is set.
Is one. No me deja tepearme, ¿eh? Tiene sentido, la verdad. Por aquí ya hemos venido. Ah, no. Ven aquí. Joder. Qué aburrimiento. No me gusta esto cuando lo alargan artificialmente. Lo odio, tío.
Let's wait.
Scooby-Dooby-Doo. Gonna find a mystery. Vamos a pasar a esta gente. Casi me pilla. Y ya está diminuta. Se va por el conducto de ventilación.
Ignorant fools blindly chasing the firelight, not knowing that the blessings of destruction already lie at their feet. It is little wonder that even the descent of the Savior's Legion was unable to cleanse this place. I will acknowledge my brashness. For now, but next time, expect no intermediaries. I will come to personally offer you the demise of your
Igual tiene toda la gente ahí.
with infernal fire.
A small fragment of consciousness in there is gone. Oh? No. Hold on.
Que te bretonizan. Papardo.
Ah, the banal theatrics of Stalin. Let's not listen, shall we?
Atacamos a este, tiramos ulti a este también.
Mediocre. SAS knowledge, the measure of truth and falsehood.
Qué poco quita. Teníamos que haber puesto más prejuicios de esto, como se llame, de buzo. Ahora.
Embrace virtue. Wretched and fleeting.
Nothing major.
Till I see that I will protect all beauty.
Eternal sleep.
The dead return.
Your answers? A test.
A blade knows no mercy. Fail to send you. Too little.
Sí, sí, tú pégale a Blade, que ya verás lo que pasa. No vas a llegar, compañero.
Bloom. Unnecessary.
Answer me. Receive divinity.
So this is the extent of
Aquí hay
mysteries
tres.
materializing from the Inferno. Seems like Dr. Primitive wasn't wrong.
Ok.
Nothing major to send you. Eternal sleep.
The dead return.
You impede me.
A ver el tercero.
The fire is weakening. It's preparing to flee. You, keep your eye out for Lady Asta's whereabouts.
That paradise may be unreachable for me. Savor it for me.
I underestimated you.
SAS knowledge, the measure of truth and falsehood.
I will dispatch you. The fight is set. Fail to send you.
Fail.
disgrace virtue. Beauty is eternal.
No pasa nada, vamos bien.
Mediocre. You chose the wrong enemy. Bloom. Not bad. Eternal students.
Return.
O sea, que pone puntos a todo.
My guiding light. Wretched and fleeting.
Your answers?
Until I see, I will protect all beauty.
For a driller.
Vale. Se va a coger a la minita, a los otros que les den, hablarle al resto.
Good work. You did very well.
De nada, hombre. ¿Cómo está Asta?
Rest assured, Asta only had a fright. She is recovering in the clinic. While you were chasing the enemy, the security department also found the missing researchers. Affirmation.
¿Cómo los encontraste?
It was all thanks to Adler. They fell into a spatial curio and could not leave until the Department of Ecology's most knowledgeable curio expert solved it from within. Many of them were shaken by their experience when Arlen found them.
Vale, aquí ya está todo. ¿Terminado?
Yes. This business is over, and I believe the space station will be able to deal with any internal aftershocks. But there is one mystery that remains unsolved. And that is something I must deal with myself.
Vale, el Chabelo se fue del grupo sin decir nada. Creen que puede ser el top.
I've been waiting.
No hay un cono.
Fallout from this incident remains. Surely you have plenty of
El
pressing
cono,
matters to attend to.
el cono era Silverwolf y
Or is the
tornillo.
safety of
No
the space
tornillo y
station
radio,
beneath your
¿verdad?
concern?
Answer. That is exactly why I came. After all, the principal figure in this whole affair is right here.
When did you start to doubt me?
When one is immersed in academic research, skepticism comes far more naturally than belief. I've had the same bad habit as you since the beginning, Mr. Ratio.
I must say, I'm quite honored, Mr. Screwlam. But to explain, why opt for silent wisdom when you already had the pieces of the puzzle?
For curiosity's sake. Affirmation. I made the same decision as you, to accompany and observe.
Oh, and when did you become convinced?
Objectively speaking, aside from some minor spiritual trauma, no researchers were hurt in this attack, which never aligned with the Annihilation Gang's modus operandi.
Operandi.
Logic? A third party saved them.
Had I not fortuitously acquired a spark of the phase flame and intervened in Duke Inferno's teleportation, those people would already be space waste. Floating?
You are more candid than I calculated.
¿Eres cándido?
But still behaving within your calculations, no? One last question, Screwlam. Genius though you are, can you deduce why I did this?
Nos van a hacer una visita. Ahí, joven.
I cannot be sure and can only hypothesize. Helping the weak hints at the merciful instinct of a medical doctor, but maintaining a cool, detached observation reveals the strictness of a scholar. And pulling the strings from behind the curtain is akin to laying down the gauntlet to a genius.
The ruler of planet Screwlum is indeed well versed in the human mind. It's a pity you're as much in the ivory tower as other geniuses. You still got one thing wrong. To stand aside and observe is the best treatment one can give. There is a disease called foolishness that is harder to cure than any ailment. The path of erudition has neither reason nor logic. While geniuses wander among the stars, the ordinary can't even trace their footsteps. Those less gifted have no choice but to walk alone, enduring a lifetime of tumbles and triumphs. But even a life marked by failure is a life worth living. It is only in moments of solitude and despair, when help is absent, that fools grasp how to pick themselves up. I have a fastidious nature. I cannot stand fools, idiots, or imbeciles. Seeing them fills me with dread. Regrettably, this space station is just like the Intelligentsia Guild, devoid of geniuses and filled with mediocrity.
You wish to uproot the researchers' blind worship of geniuses.
I am only laying out my questions. As for the answers, they'll find them themselves. Pursuit tinged with negativity is still pursuit, and it is capable of leading us to the right conclusion. For the masses of the mediocre to reach a level of awareness, this is a necessary rite of passage.
You are indeed more like a medical doctor than a scholar.
As for the spark I leave behind,
I believe Asta will deal with it properly.
it is also a lesson I left for her. With that, I take my leave. I look forward to future encounters with such brilliant minds. Let's hope they're as memorable as those we had today. A farce full of trivial concerns. Ultimately, they're just mediocre minds.
Radio está de visita al expreso. Lo que hiciste, buen trabajo. La volví a trabajar, me refiero a su seguridad. ¿Qué te preocupa si yo estoy aquí? Eso es exactamente lo que me preocupa. Una lástima que todavía no hayamos encontrado la llama de la fase, olvídalo. Yo lo veo como como que Roman me dé un favor, eso vale mucho más. También le agradezco al señor Ratio. ¿Quién es él? ¿Eh? ¿Llegado la conversación? Ok, pues nada, gente, lo hemos hecho. Tenemos toda la historia hasta el momento. Me imagino que lo siguiente ya será Colonipenal. Nos veremos en Colonipenal. Yo seguiré aquí mejorando al Luocha sin velocidad y sin nada. Tengo que farmear mucho todavía. Y a Gepar y bueno, supongo que tiraré a Black Swan si sale bien. Así que nada, gente, muchas gracias por estar aquí. Nos vemos en lo siguiente, o evento chulo o historia. ¡Hala! Adioses.